Welcome to another in the series, Sip and Chat, a place where we talk about the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. It's our pleasure this afternoon to be coming into your homes and to be talking about the goodness of the Lord. Welcome to another in the series, Sip and Chat. It's always our pleasure to have you, our extended host, with us every Sunday afternoon and our repeat program on Thursday as well. This afternoon, we have a very interesting discussion that we're about to embark on. And I think that, ironically, women give a lot of attention to so many things, but quite often not enough attention to themselves as a person. Their mental health is not taken care of, and their physical health is not taken care of. And there's a lot of times, even their very social well being is something that they put last. So this afternoon, I have with me my very learned guest. I consider myself so blessed to be able to have her today. I know she's a very, very busy person. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management, and also she's certified through Stanford University in Nutritional Science and Health. And today, and she's also a manager she's going to tell you about the health food store that she's a manager of. And I'm so happy to have her, especially in this month. So welcome, 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 welcome.
Thank you so much.
It is indeed my pleasure,
Marquisha Halliman.
Marquisha Halliman. So today we want to talk about women and their health. Generally, the Bible says that our bodies are the temple of the living God.
Yes.
In other words, it's the housing for where God lives.
Yes.
But the truth is that many of us even take care of the physical house of the Lord, but we don't take care of this temple. When we leave that physical temple, we don't take care of this temple. And I thought it was so important for us to, in this month of when we celebrate women, to talk a little bit about the woman and her health. It has been said that of lately, women's health issues have become very, in the media because women have now taken on a lot more responsibilities. And so with that kind of responsibility come a lot of pressure on the body. And
Yes.
Women, we can go. Welcome, Marquisha. Talk to us
Thank
about
you
that
so
background.
much.
Is that something that you endorse, that we have become so engrossed in everyday living and have forgotten about us?
Yes, because even being in the field, Doc, I must say, going and going and going on a daily basis and being used to going, sometimes you can really forget that, okay, you have certain things. We are females, we go through our menstrual cycle on a monthly basis. There are certain nutrients that we don't absorb as much as we used to as we grow older, as we age. Macronutrients, we don't store them as much as we used to. Micronutrients, we don't store them as much as we used to.
Wow.
Yes, energy is not metabolized as we used to.
Okay,
So
we're going to talk a little bit about that because we have some people saying, but I eating the same amount, and I don't understand why I'm putting on weight. So
yes,
those are some things that we want to really explore. There's a quote that says that the woman's health is her greatest capital. It is our greatest capital. In other words, it is our greatest asset.
yes.
Talk to us about, as the woman goes through the different stages in her life, what are some of the concerns that they should have?
Okay, as we go through the different stages, infancy stage requires a different set of nutrients. You're not gonna have breast milk for the rest of your life.
Exactly so.
When you hit puberty, you don't feel for the same things. You don't require the same things, because if you're losing, let's say you're losing blood on a monthly, you're gonna have to top up on your B vitamins. You're gonna have to top up on vitamin C. You have to top up on your iron, because these are minerals that work together. So if you take, let's say, B vitamins and iron without vitamin C, then the absorption is not as great as taking all three.
So I think that's very important because a lot of people don't understand that. So sometimes when you ask people, are you taking vitamins? They will just say, oh, I'm taking
vitamin C.
Everybody's taking C because C is usually the one for the immune system. Am I correct?
Yes, but that one alone won't cut it. That one alone
Everybody's
won't cut it.
taking C, and then they go in the sun and they said they're having D.
D.
So I want us to understand today that what is important is that some of these vitamins we need to take them together because they work best together. Could you repeat that for us so we know which ones go together?
So you do have vitamins. You do have iron. You have vitamin Bs. So you know it's a complex of Bs. So you have B1, B2. You have the different B vitamins and vitamin C. So they all work together. Those set they work together. And you also have magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D. But it's not something that you'd have to stress about. You can take your daily vitamins. That's usually the best complex. And if you get it in a herbal store, then it would be a mixture comprising of macro and micronutrients plus different herbs that would be specially formulated for like women or men or children. So you know if you have like a men's vitamin, then it would take into consideration the prostate health. If you have a woman's vitamin, then it would take into consideration, you know, breast health, menstrual health, all that.
Right.
Yes. So for that, I would recommend multivitamin. If you want to top up on other vitamins like vitamin C or vitamin D, then that's great also.
So let me understand, Marquisha. So if as a young woman, at least if you don't have any vitamin, like which is one vitamin within that teenage years that you should be topping up on?
Definitely iron and vitamin C.
Definitely iron. Definitely. C. All right. So now I come out of my teenage years. Everything, the girls are out. Everything is up and going. So now I'm going into my 20s. Yes. I'm going on to my 20s and my 30s. So I think that's my nice fertility time now. So what I need to be concerned about now at that time?
Okay, so in your 20s, magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D, you do have a saturation stage. So by the time you hit 30, after 30, you're on a decline. So that's when the body doesn't absorb as much because the calcium from age 0 to 30, you're in the absorption stage. Right. Yes, so you do hit a climax level, then you're on the decline. So during that stage, yes, I would recommend that you go all at it. You do have collagen, which is the branch of protein that's responsible for the hair, the skin, the renewal of the skin, the joints. It's also good for brain health. It's also good for energy. And it's also good for restful sleep. It doesn't put you to sleep. It's just for restful sleep. Yes, so you do have, and you have the Irish moss as well, which has 98 of the essential minerals that we need. It's something that you can take on a daily basis.
And those are in like capsule forms, right?
We do have it in capsule. We have it in the actual moss.
I have to ask you that, you know, because you know, said no, well, kind of like me. Most of us nowadays we don't know to boil those things.
I wouldn't boil it.
So how do you do it?
Okay, so the moss is something that you soak. So you can.
So that is a bushy thing. I know our producer will bring it up so that the now people can see it. So it's that bushy thing, right?
Yes, it's sea moss. It's also known as sea moss. So you can soak it in a glass container and it swells. Okay. Then you just blend it in that liquid and it becomes the gel.
Okay, great.
Just like that.
Wow. All right. So I'm understanding now that in my 30s my body is not absorbing lots of the things that I used to absorb before. And now I'm going now into my 30s and edging towards my 50s. What am I concerned about at that time?
Supplementing.
Yes,
because you do have different enzymes that you don't produce as much. Okay. That's the stage where you find that maybe you're not digesting protein as you used to. Right. You're not digesting carbohydrates. So would that be
when you have a lot of person they're having some repeats because some of those things are not being digested properly?
Yes. So you have people suffering from like ulcers, acid reflux. You have more of, because the body's on a pH scale, so it's not too acidic, not too alkaline. So you do have an issue when you're at either end of the spectrum. You're supposed to be a neutral being. Yes. So What you would see mostly in Jamaica, though, is that we're mostly acidic because
Our food type.
or food type, the timing, work as well. We eat late or we don't eat at all.
Right.
Yes.
Especially corporate people. I know I'm touching your corn. Like we only eat when we feel hungry, which is horrible.
Horrible.
And then you have this deadline to meet, that deadline to meet, and so before you know it, I think the average CEO eats at somewhere about 2:33.
Yes.
And this is after probably breakfast in the morning, which is usually like a light sandwich. So a lot of times, even though, and I want it to be very clear that as we're working towards making those financial goals, becoming the woman that we always want to be, if we want to be around to really enjoy some of those things, we have to understand that we have to take care of this body.
Yes.
Body made by God. We have to take care of this body. So now I'm 50. What is it that I need to be concerned about? So 50 going on to 60.
50 going on to 60. Well, around this age, 40, 50, you would hit the menopausal stage.
Right.
Yes. So this now is where, a lot comes into play, where, the hot flashes come on, low libido. You have...
And you know that is of concern for many people?
Yes, it is. It is of concern. It is something that I see every day, most days. I see, and because I really think it's not spoken about a lot for women. Yeah, vaginal dryness.
Right.
Yeah, you're not producing as much estrogen and progesterone as you used to, because remember, that comes from the egg that you're no longer
producing.
You're not producing that anymore. So that becomes an issue. And the hormonal imbalance now causes all of this. Your skin gets out of whack, your hair gets out of whack. Yes, so it plays on your mood, and then it also plays on the people around you.
I think that is so very important.
Yes.
Marquisha, every time I think about sip and chat, it's too short. But I think this discussion is very, very important, because what happens, and you'll see a lot of those clients. I will also see those clients as well in terms of counseling, because what you find is that you've been with your spouse for a number of years, and some of the men, they don't understand this transition that the woman goes through. He hears about menopause, but he doesn't understand exactly what is going to happen. So he probably just think, hot flashes, she feels a little hot sometimes, but it's really a very uncomfortable for some people sensation that occurs, and it's very, very uncomfortable.
Very.
And then, as you mentioned, the whole matter now of the vaginal dryness, and these are issues that people don't talk about in church, and they don't talk about in a lot of forum. I'm so glad that I'm a part of a ladies ministry that we speak about these issues.
Yes.
Because what happens is that when you are not being able to make yourself available in the way that you used to your spouse, then that is going to cause some level of dissent in the home, and you're trying to explain, but he's not understanding. What is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to... You understand where that discussion goes? So go ahead, Marquisha.
That's where the hormones even play a part too, because you're not producing as much. You don't have the drive. Yeah. So for example, now a supplement like, for example, the Cobra for females.
This is the Cobra.
Yes. This one takes into consideration, the fact that you're not producing as much estrogen or progesterone. And this one is a mixture. It's a complex of different herbs. So we call these ones the aphrodisiac herbs.
Okay.
Yes, so it takes into consideration sexual health. Yes, so it helps with libido, and it also helps with the imbalance of the hormones in the body. So you find
a lot of times, listen, Marquisha, people hear about the word libido, but they don't know what it means. So can you just explain to our audience what this
sexual drive? Sexual drive. So low libido means that you don't have the drive anymore. When it's high, we're coming from the high stage. Yes. So when it's high is when you want sex all the time, most if not all the time. But menopause, when you hit that age now, with this discomfort,
right?
Yeah, it comes with low libido.
Okay.
Yes.
And we also have some other products here which I want to talk to you about. But after you touch the 50, 60, the question is, when does menopause stop? Because I'm sure some people are saying, I want to get out of this When does it stop?
Well, usually, you can go up to age 60.
Right.
Yes, you can go up to age 60. And you can start as early as maybe late 30s.
Yes, because I did have a girlfriend because one of that started in her 30s,
Yes.
actually, a colleague of mine, because what happens is that she had done some procedure, and I think the removal of the womb and of because she had some cyst and so on, and endometriosis and stuff like that. So they had to do this whole hysterectomy, right? And
Yes.
so what that did was change up all the
Everything.
dynamics, all the
Everything.
dynamics that was happening. So sometimes you can imagine if somebody's 30 and they're going through that phase,
Yes.
they're a young married couple.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Young married couple, you're looking forward to this excitement and joy of intimacy, but now you have this to encounter. So I'm hearing you saying that what can be used is that we can take the natural balance, Cobra for women,
Yes.
right? And that should help in some way
Yes.
to help with that hormonal imbalance. All right, so here now we have the
ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha. Talk to us a
Yes.
little bit about this one.
So this one, I love to call this one the power herb.
The power
Okay.
herb, right?
Yes. So this one, it falls on the aphrodisiac lineage as well. It is a pure herb, but this one is good for stress. It's good for infertility in both men and women.
Right.
Because sometimes when a couple is infertile,
they always think it's a woman.
Always the woman. Okay.
Yeah, and they always think it's a woman, and they always don't go back to the doctor. Don't want to go to the doctor because they don't want to hear. But men, I want to say to you, those of you who are watching today, that help is out there. Help is out there. So you shouldn't just stay in denial and say, oh, it's not you, because they're both of you in this relationship, and it does help when you get some kind of confirmation in terms of what's happening. All right, go ahead and talk about it.
Yes, so the ashwagandha helps with stress concerning sex as well. It helps with the everyday stress, but stress where sex is related, because it really gets people depressed when they're not able to perform as maybe society would deem it, or your partner expects you to.
Right.
Yes, so this one helps to increase your sex drive and also where the brain is concerned.
Right.
Yes. So this one, I call this one the power herb.
Power herb.
Power herb, yes.
So we have the cobra, and then we have the power herb, the ashwagandha, and then there's mother's
milk.
Mother's milk. Talk to us about this one. Fennel and fenugreek.
Yes, so this one is a complex of herbs. So it has fennel, fenugreek, coriander, cumin. It's a very good mixture, like how we're going through the stages of life. There's a stage when you're pregnant.
Right.
Yes.
Mother's milk. Right.
Mother's milk. So it's a lactating mix. Yes. So it does help with the production of breast milk. Yes.
Okay. Right.
So this one is that.
Oh, okay. I don't think I will need this one. My producer is laughing and said, what are you saying? All right. Now, this one is very, very important, the collagen, because a lot of persons, they have skin, nail, and hair issues, right? I'm still recovering from this flu. But one of the things I think is so important is that, like you just said, that there's a time in our lives when the absorption is not great, and if the oil can reach different sebums to get into where it needs to get to, then we start seeing the effects of it. So talk to us about this one.
Okay, so the collagen is a branch of protein. This is what it looks like. It's a branch of protein that is responsible for the rejuvenation of the skin, the hair, and the nails. It also helps because it helps with circulation. So it helps with brain health. It helps with vision. It helps with energy, restoration of energy. And it helps you to get restful sleep.
Right.
Yes.
So and I like that a lot of these really help with rest, because I mean the typical woman today is so busy. I mean, I hear them crying out every day. Is that how we get 4 days work day, for a 4-week work day?
Wow.
Or we get an extra day between Saturday and Sunday, because it's like there's never enough time to do all that you have to do. Like a mother's work is never done.
True.
Sometimes they go to bed, they wake up in the morning, they look at the kids. If the juice is in the freezer, they wake up, is homework finished or something. It's like she's always going, and that's not her 9 to 5. She still has her 9 to 5. So really want to encourage the ladies out there and the men who are watching this afternoon on Tip and Chat, because remember, our purpose is the whole man. It don't make sense you're in church shouting hallelujah, 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 and then you go home and there is no food. You're not eating the right thing. You're eating in the night. You're not taking care of your body. Just, I don't know if very briefly, Marquisha, if you could say to us, like, as a female, as a person, what are some of the signs that we should look for or should become of concern to us when we see them, and don't just ignore them?
Oh, for if you start to store, I wouldn't even say fat, but weight. If you have weight, because it can be water based.
Okay.
If you're a naturally slim person and you see that, oh, okay, maybe my arms look too big or my legs look too big, it doesn't always have to be fat. It can be liquid. Yeah, because water weight, there is a thing called water weight where you do store water in the body. So if you notice any bulgy, anything out of the norm where that is concerned, definitely check that one out. Breasts, your breasts, yes, definitely do your checkup, because
so they always tell that you put your hand and
yes, and you feel, because you sometimes you feel lumps. There's something called fibrocystic breasts. It's not necessarily a cancerous lump,
right.
Yeah, but it's a cyst in the breast. So it's something that you should always keep up on, check up on that. Yes, so those little things, those are things that you need to watch. And dieting. Yes, I would recommend dieting, and dieting well, because in Jamaica, I really believe, because in high school, this really messed me up.
Right.
Yes, the portion of rice, then you'd have your pasta on the side, so it's carbs plus carbs, and then you'd have the meat, and then you're drinking a soda. No, every day.
I'm really laughing because somebody was trying to describe a Jamaican meal one time, and they said a patty and a cocoa bread, and then you get a soda, and then there's like nowhere in between that. And I have to share this though, because I was talking to my son, right, and I said, you need to eat vegetables, He doesn't eat vegetables, so I say you need to. So I have to give him supplements, right?
Yes.
Well, so the only fruit that he really eats is the local apple or the green apple, and it has to be like almost like, to me in my mind, like it's not even a full apple, but it cannot be too. It has to be very firm.
Wow.
So I said to him, you need to have vegetables, and he says to me, Mommy, yes, I do have vegetables. I eat potatoes. Because every time they have these changes in things, now carrot is no longer a fruit, it is a tuber, so that makes it carbs. So when I'm eating rice and carrots, I'm eating two carbs.
It's not vegetable.
And then tomato is another one, is now understood to be a fruit.
Yes.
It's just like every time these dynamics are changing. But I'm hearing you say that we just need to be very in sync with our bodies, know what was there before. And a lot of us, when we take off our clothes, for example, and this is quite biblical. When we take off our clothes, we don't look at ourselves. A lot of women are ashamed of themselves. And so because they don't spend enough time to look at their bodies, when there is an abnormality or a change, they don't always notice this. Could you explain to us now the maca? I usually thought that the maca was just for men, because one of my friends had me take it every day. But I'm not understanding, which is why knowledge is key. Talk to us about the importance of maca as it relates to the woman's health.
So maca is a superfood. So where PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Many women suffer from that. Yes, and menstrual irregularities, it helps with that as well, because it helps with the restoration and the balancing of your hormones. So it takes into consideration also everything concerning PCOS. So where depression is concerned, infertility is concerned, where hormonal imbalance, which also pushes menstrual irregularity. For persons with PCOS. Yes, and where fatigue is concerned. This one gives you a lot of energy, and where low libido is concerned as well.
Excellent. So I just want to clear up a few myths before we close.
Okay.
So a lot of persons think that you only go to the gynae because you think you're pregnant or you have an STD, but is that really true?
No. Just like you do your breast checkups, yes, you do go from time to time, just to make sure that everything is fine, because
Right.
you know that you do have a vaginal flora that you need to maintain
Right.
as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm understanding as well that the vagina should have a certain pH,
pH,
right?
yes.
So that is also important. So even if you're not even sexually active, you should still have
You
probably
should.
a doctor that you go to. And I mean, these are general practitioners who would have
Yes.
done certain things, so they can also identify certain things as well.
Yes.
Another one that we understand is that women with no symptoms don't have to worry about a STD. So, you know, I mean, this show is for everybody, so all
Yes.
kinds of persons are listening. But is that not true, or is it true?
I wouldn't believe that, because you do have some diseases which are asymptomatic.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you wouldn't see a sign like, oh, there's a bump here, I have this, but you do have it.
Right.
Yes.
So, and what I'm understanding, even when it comes to STD, chlamydia is one of those ones that doesn't normally always have that kind of thing. Another one that I hear people say regularly is that if you drink your cranberry juice, you won't have urinary tract infection. Is that true?
Not that you won't.
Or it can heal it too.
Not entirely. Does it help? Yes, it does help.
Right.
Does it cure it? I wouldn't say that.
Right.
No.
Okay. All right, great. There are much more facts that we have. We know that you're interested in this program, but I'm just going to allow Marquisha to tell us where she is. How can we access her? If she have a handle that we can get contact with, and so on. So it's over to you, Marquisha.
Okay, so Clamar's Holistic Health Center is my place of business. We are open 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. It is a herbal holistic store. We cater to the entire man. So from head to toe,
Exactly.
we have
and everything in between.
And everything in between we have for you.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so very much, Marquisha. And I want to say this quote that Michelle Obama used. She says, being a healthy woman isn't about getting on a scale or measuring your waistline. For some of us, it's every day. We need to start focusing on what matters, because mental health affects physical health. And that is so important. We're going to talk about that another time as well. But we should focus on what matters and how we feel about ourselves. And again, this program, continues to provide a lot of information. I want to thank you so very much, Marquisha. I'm sure you'll be back, of course,
yes,
because we want to make sure that persons have a great appreciation. Kingdom women, anybody at all must understand that we have to take care of this body, because we want to be around for a very, very long time. And that as you pass through the different stages of your life, there are different things that will happen. But if you don't have the knowledge, you don't know how to take care responsible. Remember, knowledge is power. And you can always reach out to Marquisha. The numbers are running along the screen, so you can get them. And until next time, let us continue to sip and chat. Healthy living is what it's all about.